Hello. Let's pop in. My name's Asherah. My channel is PhD, researching DID, dissociative identity disorder / psychosis, mental health basically, versus conscious expansion. Today is Thursday the 23rd of July and it is 2:20 in the afternoon. Finished doing what I needed to do today, and basically from yesterday or the day before I said I want to just spend Thursday falling asleep underneath a tree outside in the park. So that's where I am. My car is parked on the opposite side and I've made sure that I've sat my back really, so in front of me it's just this, to just basically get grounded, because yesterday was my granddaughter's first birthday. They're twins. It was such a lovely day it was. And I met my daughter-in-law's mom, not for the first time, but it's the first time us kind of like being in the same environment for an extended period of time. She's got 6 kids too. Not 2 because I've got 5 kids, but I just meant that she's got a lot of kids. And she doesn't really have many people around her either. She's a white lady. My son's girlfriend is white. My son is dual heritage. And the kids just look basically white, basically. But their mannerisms are very like his. And even one of his daughters makes this sound with her mouth. We can't do it, but Dad can. Type of thing. But the reason why I've jumped on is because I noticed that I felt overwhelmed yesterday without actually knowing that I was overwhelmed. And we were talking and we were like literally just laughing and joking. We were smoking weed. She's a weed smoker, I'm a weed smoker. We both smoke weed for medical reasons. And we're both talking about our applications that we've made to get weed on prescription and all the rest of it. So we was having a right laugh and a joke. But what was really nice is that it was more than just a laugh and a joke. She said it several times too, and I knew it anyway, but she was just like, you know what, it's really nice to talk to somebody who gets it, who gets me, she said, and all my quirks without me feeling like I have to be weird. So for example, my daughter-in-law asked me if I want a cup of tea at one point, and I said, yeah, go on then. So my son made my tea and she made my tea, but she made it with her mum's special milk. So I didn't know that at the time. So when I got my cup of tea, I was like, fucking hell, this is a good cup of tea. Tastes like my kind of tea that I make. So they was like, all right, great. So we drank it, and then later on she was like, oh, do you want another cup of tea? And I was like, nah, I need a fucking toilet. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, make me a cup of tea, I'm gonna go to the toilet and go drink the tea afterwards. When I went in the kitchen, her daughter took out a really, not weird, but a very unusual looking milk bottle that I can't say. I feel like I have seen it before, but at the time yesterday, I didn't believe that I had seen it before. And she said, oh, do you want to use my milk? And I said, oh, what's your milk? I prefer the full fat stuff really. And she said, oh, it's kind of, it's just a sterilised milk and it's a little bit more thicker and a little bit more creamier. So when she said that and I looked at the consistency of the milk, I said to her, oh, it looks like the kind of milk I use, because I prefer drinking my tea with canned evaporated milk, because it is more creamier. It tastes better in tea, because the milk that we have today, when I was growing up in the UK as a child, it was law that every single day, every child was given a whole bottle of milk to drink. This is in the 80s. And then when Margaret Thatcher came in, she took all the bottles of milk away from kids at school. But so basically milk was a big part of my childhood. And I remember it being really thick and creamy back in the days. In fact, it was so thick and creamy that when you used to take off the little silver cap, the lid, you'd have like the cream of the milk, like a thick cream of the milk around the lid of the milk, like literally the fat had settled on the milk, showing you how thick and creamy, rich and consistent this milk was. You don't get that on milk today. Milk is watered down at least by 75%. There's fuck all in it. And by the time they finish it, they actually end up having to add vitamins to the milk because there's nothing in it. So I don't that's why I don't really use that kind of milk in my tea. And back in the days when I was growing up, my mum used to use goat milk. Long story short. So when I've looked at the milk and said, "Oh my God, it looks like evaporated milk," because that's what I use. She was like, "Yeah, that's basically what it is, evaporated milk." You know what I mean? And I said, "Well, that's my kind of milk, babe. That's the milk I drink. Bring it here." So I poured it in. I said, "You know, I'm gonna put a little bit more in actually." So we're laughing, and she was like, "Do you know how nice it is to be able to have my milk without people judging that I've got this weird milk?" She was like, "Oh, you know, if I go around to like friends or family's house, or you know, like long-term friends and families, they're always like, 'Oh, if you come in, bring your milk, because you know you got your funny milk.'" And she was like, they like to make jest of it, or they like to kind of be a little bit critical of it. And I said, I understand that, because I was a pescatarian for over 20 years. So I would have those comments too, that, you know, if you come into my yard, bring what you eat or bring what you drink, because I am funny like that. And to be honest, I've never had a problem bringing what I like anywhere with me or where my kids are going. But that is, so literally, her talking about her quirkiness, in this particular example being milk, and then me kind of talking about, I've got to wash my hands, man, I'm so OCD. And she was like, "No, that's fine, I'm the same." There were just so many similarities. I'm talking about, at the moment, something from a really, really minute level, like milk and OCD. But actually, in terms of our physical disability experiences, as in terms of our partners, like she's got 6 kids, 2 baby daddy. I got 5 kids, 2 baby daddies. And it's been a similar journey in terms of the bullshit and the narcissism and the nonsense and whatever. So the point being, as to why I'm sharing this today, is that during at least probably 2, I want to say 3, but definitely 2, definitely within 2 moments of us talking, I don't know what happened, but I literally burst into tears. I literally burst into tears to the point where I was talking, and as I'd burst into tears, I was shocked by the fact that I'd burst into tears, and my face must have had a shocked look on it, because she looked just as shocked as I did, because there wasn't really much in the conversation to be upsetting. Yeah, we're talking truth and we're sharing testimony, but it was still surface level. It was still surface level of a conversation. So when I burst into tears, and I literally, like, it took my breath away, the way that this emotion just overwhelmed me. And straight away my eyes filled up quicker than I could even catch my tears, so they ended up coming down my face a bit. And she came over and literally grabbed and held me straight away. But because I was in so much kind of shock, if you like, with myself, I kind of stiffened up on that one too, and kind of done my best to try and get past her, to step out of the kitchen into the garden, to get some fresh air, to kind of just control myself and regulate myself. So that was incident number 1. And I was just talking about, it was all general. It wasn't like one thing. It was almost like passing through a conversation of being in court for the past 5 years or prior, etc. So it wasn't like I was going into any kind of detail that would have raised emotion. I was surface level sharing. That's why I think it was so shocking. And then the second time I found myself bursting into tears, she talked about her testimony of supporting her dad through his cancer until he died. And she started talking about her and her dad's relationship, which is a proper, authentic daddy's girl relationship. And she talked about her dad being that guy, you know, like she was like, I'd see my dad at least 5 out of 7 of the days a week. And every time he's coming with soap, powder, food, something for the kids, something for me. Like, that was the kind of man he was. And he absolutely doted over her mother, etc., etc. And one day they came back, and the mom had literally left the house, took all the furniture, took literally everything out the fucking house, left him a note and told her she can't do this no more. And she was just like, it fucking broke my dad, and it broke me, to be fair, because I don't have a problem with the fact that she wanted to leave, and I don't have a problem that life got too much for her. What I have a problem with is the way that she went about it. My dad would do anything for her and give her anything. So why on earth would she go about it the way she did, where she just literally ripped up everything, left him with the kid? She even took his car. She left him with her car and took his car. That's fucking bad-mindedness. I didn't say anything. I was just listening. And then obviously my daughter-in-law put her 2 pence in to kind of defend the nan for one reason or another. So the mum and the daughter kind of got into that little bit of seeing things from two sides of a different perspective. And I could hear both of them, because when she first started talking to me, I did kind of feel like that. I felt like, you know what, mum felt overwhelmed, and she was just like, you know what, self-preservation, fuck this shit. But then as she started to talk about the dad, that he was overly giving, I know what that's like, because I'm an overgiver partner. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes when we overgive, we create more negative scenarios for ourselves than if we was just to give in moderation. You know, so when she started talking about her dad, I burst into tears. I got some daddy issues, man. I got some daddy issues, and I thought I dealt with them, and yesterday kind of showed me that I haven't completely, and that's okay. That's okay, because there has been some bullshit that has gone down. There's been some real bullshit that's gone down. And it hasn't been addressed. So I'm going to address some of it now, because Spirit is saying to me that it's all about my truth. So here goes. When it comes to my dad, in fact, should start with some lip gloss. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. When it comes to my dad and my mum met when they were quite young, 15. My mum was 19, my dad. They had me around 23. My mum was 23. And somewhere between having me and the next 12 months, my mum and dad separated. And all my life, my mum has told me that she separated with my dad because my dad's a pimp, or he was a pimp. A pimp as in he used to take women. He used to have women sell their bodies and then take their money, basically. And my mum says to me when I was young that the problem of him being a pimp wasn't the problem, because she enjoyed the money. She enjoyed the lifestyle, she said. You know what I mean? Her and us apparently didn't want for nothing. In fact, when family members or friends needed money, they wouldn't go to the bank and take out a loan. They'd just come to my mum and dad's and borrow money. She said what the problem was is that at some point, perhaps, I'm assuming, she come to realise, or she found out that the pimps actually have to sleep with the women first. They sleep with the women first. And my mum was like, no, I can't have you out there sleeping with all of these random women and then come back into my house to come wipe off your dick with some towel, and then one of my pitney then pick it up and go and wipe their face. This is what she says to me. So she was like, that was the reason why. You get what I'm trying to say? But I don't know if that's the whole truth, to be fair. And when I say that, I mean that there were other surrounding issues too. Like, my dad was very physically abusive. My dad likes to beat women. You know what I mean? Which is why I'm so anti getting beat. I'd rather beat a man than make a man beat me, basically. And that's how I've always been. I prefer fight boys than fight the girls, because I'm making every boy know. They say I'm not that bitch, babe. I'm not the one, and I'm not the fucking two. Yeah. So from a little girl, I've always fought my boy cousins, and I've always fought boys on the road and at school, and not necessarily in like mash up, fist to fist punching fights, but I defend myself. You know what I mean? So from school days, everybody knew, I don't fuck with her because she ain't the one. And because I grew up in a lot of gangs, like on both sides of my family. When I say both sides, my stepdad's family and my other family members, there've been a lot of gang affiliation, and the areas that I grew up had a lot of gang affiliation. So if they weren't family gang members, then they were just people that we grew up in primary and secondary school and know them that way. Yeah. So I've never really been someone that got taken the piss with, because there's always been bad man around me, type of thing. But I've never called a bad man to come and sort out nothing, because I sort out my own shit. But just to give you some perspective of what life was about. So anyway, putting all of that into consideration with the beating, the pimping, and all kinds of other fuckery, my mum decided to run away from my dad. And she literally changed areas and changed our name legally by depot. Yeah, she didn't want anything to do with him, and she didn't want him to have anything to do with us. So I didn't actually technically get to properly like have a relationship with my dad until I was about 14 years of age. And then between 14 and 15, I got to kind of ask him about certain things that my mum had told me growing up, that he hadn't really had the opportunity to kind of put his 2 pence of the story in. And what I really respected about him is that he was honest and he was transparent. And he says to me that I am a piece of shit, as in what life was like back then. And I do regret, my biggest regret is not coming and finding you and my big sister and taking us. You know what I mean? But when I look at my younger siblings, my sister and brother that did grow up with him, and my other younger sister who's got a different mum, when I was younger, I was envious that they got to live with him and I didn't. And it's only recently that I've actually seen him for who he actually is. You know, prior to that, my whole life, I had these rose-tinted glasses on. I think because my mum abused him verbally to me and my sister all the time, and she'd do it in front of like family and friends too. Your dad's this and your dad's that, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, it was vicious, man. It was like all the things that she didn't get to say to him, she would say to us growing up, and it would break my fucking heart, if I'm honest. It would break my fucking heart, because I'm not like my mum, and I'm not like my mum's family. So I felt very alone and isolated around these people, even though it's family and you laugh and joke, but internally I felt very isolated and very alone. And I think more so because I was singled out a lot of the time. And I was singled out because I taught my truth. Yeah, I taught my truth. And if I see something and it's not right, I'm going to say. And if I see something and it needs to be addressed, I'm going to be the one to address it. And then on top of that, I'm a born psychic medium. So spirit be telling me shit too. And as a child, I didn't know how to discern between what I was getting spiritually and what I was just thinking. So I'm chatting everything. So I would often end up getting slapped in my mouth or flicked in my mouth or a cut eye or you know what I mean, you're too feisty, you know what I'm saying? So all of that. Whereas my dad's side of family are just like me. They don't give a fuck, blood. You understand me? If something ain't right, it's not right. Nobody's pussyfooting round nobody. And I've got 26 first cousins on my mum's side and 28 first cousins on my dad's side. So it's a big family. First cousins. It's a big, and I've got second, third and fourth cousins too. When I went to Jamaica, I was in class with my 7th cousin. So I've got a very, very big extended family. Yeah. So growing up and kind of being singled out for being different was really hard. But then by the time I got to 14 and got introduced to my dad's side of family, I kind of felt like, okay, I kind of felt like, okay, home. I get it now. I am a rose. I'm a rose. I'm a rose through and through. And sometimes my mum's sisters and brother and family would say to me, you're just like your dad. You're just like your dad. Who's that one there? That one there's a rose. That one there's a rose. So it was always said to me, but I didn't know it until I knew it. Yeah. So again, being very, very different in an environment where people, it's normal for my mum's side of family to talk about each other behind their back. It's normal for my mum's side of family to fucking sleep with people, man. They're just on their bullshit. They're just on their fucking bullshit, yeah? And I'm not on that bullshit. So I was always different. So coming back to my dad, by the time I got to 14, 16 and started to build up that relationship, I thought the sun shone out of his fucking ass, didn't I? Because that's what happens when one parent slags down another parent. It deliberately creates an imbalancement. Sometimes. My big sister, I don't think it created such an imbalancement with her, because I think because she's 4 years older than me, she's seen a lot more of what was happening in the house growing up with my dad than I did. And I think that's another thing that clouded my judgment about my actual real father and his real, who he is really. I admit that I've had rose tinted glasses covered over my eyes for years. What I'm trying to share today is why my rose tinted glasses were so rosy. And it's because I'd spent a lifetime defending this man, or feeling like I have to defend this man. So 2019, even before that, me and my dad had a really good relationship. He didn't have a good relationship with my siblings. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm 6 for my dad, basically. My dad's got 6 kids, and I'm number 2. So all the rest of him don't really have nothing to do with him, or at least didn't have much to do with him. It's more me. And they would judge me or look at me in a particular way, like, why do I want to be friends with this man? But I couldn't understand where they're coming from either, because I'm like, you're not fucking him. Whatever him and your mom has got is between you and your mom, yeah, regardless of which sibling I'm referring to, because there's at least there's 4 baby mothers. But that's between you, him and your mom. That's not you and him. At least that's the way I looked at it. Whatever you and my mum had, that's what you and my mum had. What the fuck has that got to do with me? I'm judging him based on how he deals with me. And if he ain't dealt with me in no fucked up way, then I don't see no reason to be dealing with him in no fucked up way. That was my logic and reasoning. You know what I'm saying? Whereas everybody else, for whatever reason, they had their reasons. They'd pop in and out, whatever. But, I had my dad working for me. I had my dad completing qualifications to make sure that I could, you know what I mean, that he's nice in retirement. My mum the same too, don't get it twisted. I had my mum working for me too in several different businesses. You know what I'm saying? So my other siblings on both sides, my mum's side and my dad's side, they've always gone on like to say, oh, she's the favourite, but it's not that I'm the favourite. I just check for everybody. Does that make sense? Like, I'm somebody who will make sure that everybody else is okay. And me having 5 children, I've got one child who is very similar to that. He's not as bad as me in terms of like going above and beyond the way I went above and beyond. But, Mom, you're okay? Do you need anything? Blah, blah, blah. If I want something, I can rely on all of them. But he's just been that guy. He's just been that kid growing up. And because I've got a child like that, I feel like I can see kind of where my mum and dad were coming from. Not that I was the favourite, but they just knew, or at least it felt like they knew, that they could rely on me. But at the same time, I felt so pressured too. As a young woman at 21 years of age, knowing that my parents don't own property, they don't have savings, they don't have life insurance, they haven't even sorted out their funeral plan. Like, I'm in my 20s and all of my shit is patterned. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Are these people looking for me to bury them? Because that's how it felt too. Like I was burdened to look after them. I felt a lot of obligations growing up. In fact, I'm only starting to lose the obligation recently. Even today, a conversation that I had with my 18-year-old daughter. But I won't go into that just yet. So, that was my experience with my dad. If I needed him, as far as I'm concerned, he was there when I needed him. And if he needed me, I was there when he needed me. Yeah. Anyway, fast forward 2019. I decided that I wanted to divorce my husband of about 16 years. He's a fucking narcissist, basically, as well as other things. So I remember talking to my dad about it, and my dad was like, because over the years he's heard and he's seen certain bullshit that's gone down, and he's like, you know what, Ash, It's time for you to just start living for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, one day he called me and he said, I want you to come to the house. Come to the house today, like now. I was like, what's the matter with him? He's never ever kind of put it on me like that. So I was like, all right, no problem. I'm on my way down. So when I went down there, he was like, you know what? Divorce such man. I was like, what? He said, divorce him. I think you should divorce him. I was anyway, but he said, I'm in support. Divorce him. So I was like, all right then, why? And he just opened up his mouth and went. My dad does a move like this. He'll just move his tongue back and forward on his teeth when you ask him a question and he don't really want to answer it. So he done that look, so I knew not to bother asking him no more. But I didn't understand why he was telling me, but I just took the message, yeah. And I just carried on with divorce proceedings. Fast forward to 2021, I was in the house that I'm in now, yeah. As in, I hadn't moved out of the marital home, but I was chilling at the house that I'd owned for like. I bought the house when my oldest son was 4, and he's 27 now. So I've had the house a while. So anyway, it was in between letting and it, so the house was vacant. So literally, something fell out the tree on my head. So while the house was vacant, I would chill there, basically. So I'm chill there. One day I was there, and I was there with Fuck Nigga 1. Fuck Nigga 1 is the high priest. This is a spiritual black magic voodoo fucking man that my cousin had introduced me to back in 2020 to get a reading. And when I went to his house to get a reading, and my ancestors were talking to me, my ancestors told me that you and him have a journey together. Yeah, but again, I won't go into all of that, but this is how this relationship progressed. Not a man and woman relationship though, yeah, but relationship nonetheless. So while he was at the house with me, my dad phoned me, yeah. And my dad phoned me to tell me some fuck shit about my ex-husband, yeah. So imagine the story went something like this. Yo, Ash, you never guess what, you know. I was at such a place today, yeah, and such man was there. And this is how such man's going on. He's down there saying this, that, and the other. So basically, such man, my ex-husband, is down somewhere chatting about me, and my dad's there. So I says to my dad, well, what did you say? What did you, when you heard him say that, what did you say? So, the comeback, and my dad's got bare comeback, you know, don't fuck yourself. My mum and my dad are the top dogs in their families. So my mum is not the oldest, her brother is, but my mum is the loudest. She's that bitch, yeah. And my dad is not the oldest either, but he's the oldest boy, but he's got 3 older sisters. But he's that guy too. He's that bitch too. He's the top guy in his family. So I've got 2 parents with very strong, dominant personalities. They're basically cut from the same cloth. So my dad to turn around and say that he never fucking said nothing when such man is going on with himself, I'm like, what the fuck? What? So I stick it, when I say I stick it on him, spirit, his mother, my nan, came through and stuck it on him. The words that came out of my mouth, I had never spoken to my dad like that before. And to be quite frank, I was expecting my man to jump down my throat, because I'm talking about telling him several times about his blood clot. Yeah. So to this effect, because I don't remember everything verbatim because it wasn't coming from me. But what I do remember hearing come out my mouth, because obviously it surprised me, is like, yeah, daddy, yeah, is that all it is? Let me tell you, blood clot something. You see when the boat, you see when it come time for everybody to be on their blood clot boat, make sure you fucking know which blood clot boat you dip on. Because I'm telling you fucking now, you see if you dip on such man's blood clot boat, you see when the boat starts to sink, daddy, and the boat's going fucking down. I said, you same blood clot when I go down with him. That's what I told my dad. Imagine. I was like, oh. That time Fuck Nigga 1 was sitting next to me. And I looked at him and I covered up my blood, I covered up my mouth. I couldn't believe I've spoke to my mum like that too, you know. Yo, spirit has let it rip. Told Janet about her blood clot, up, down, left, right, whatever. Trigger, fucking warning. When I am a divine judge in the celestial realm. When I open up my mouth and talk, everything fucking stops. Bird, trees, wind, every fucking thing. Because it is truth. It's coming straight down, blood. We're not bypassing. Do you understand? There's no middleman. It's coming straight. And you know why I know it's coming straight? Because the look on my parents' faces, or the no comeback, nobody ain't got fuck all to say, you know. After I told my dad about his blood clot, you know, and that he's going down with the blood clot boat if he's in a fucking such man's boat, yeah, you would have expect something. No. Tumba blood clot weed. The most I got was a You understand me? That's it. From my father, you have to know who my father is to really comprehend what I'm trying to say to you, you know. He's not an idiot. He's not an idiot guy that you can just chat shit to. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. He loves the truth because he's a rose. You know what I'm saying? And he allow you to tell him about himself. And he will turn around and say, you know what? No, you're absolutely right. And that's why I have a lot more respect for my dad than my mom, because my dad won't necessarily fight or argue against the fucking truth if he sees it, though. Yeah, whereas my mom, she plays dumb, deaf and blood clot blind, all of when the truth is slapping her. Yeah, so that's why I don't have no respect for that woman. But my father now, he will see truth. But like I said, when I told him on that particular day about his blood clot and the boat that he'd be sinking in, at the time, it was just words. Today, in 2020, blood clot 6, it is a fact. Yeah? You're on the wrong boat, daddy. You're going blood clot down. Yeah? You're doomed. So I have a lot of father issues. Sorry, Spirit just says to me to say to you that when I say that he's not a dickhead, meaning that because of his temperament and his mannerism, he's usually the alpha male in any scenario. Yeah? And his confidence is in him, because that's how the people in my family are. They're just overly confident. But he's also a 7 black belt dan. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he talks, he can back to. You know what I'm saying? So he really don't play in that respect. Thanks, Spirit. So when my girl was talking about her dad being a daddy's girl, up until that point in 2021, I had always been a daddy's girl. Like, my daddy couldn't do no fucking wrong. Put it this way, not that he couldn't do any wrong, I couldn't see any wrong in what he did. He didn't show me that side of him. He still hasn't shown me that side of him. Do you know how I've come to understand sides of my father? Through spirit, through seeing it, through astral projecting and seeing, through dreaming and seeing, through the ancestors taking me by my hand and walking me through the 5D and making me know what my mom and dad have really been up to. And the two of them, my dad is a fucking Freemason and my mom is a fucking Eastern Star. And between the fucking two of them, I am the fucking sacrifice. On both sides of my family, I am the fucking sacrifice. Imagine. And on both sides of my family, I am the generational curse breaker. For both fucking sides. Heavy is the head that wears the blood clot crown, man. So when I say things like, I don't know why I'm bursting out into tears, in truth, I do know. Because I've got some testimonies. I've got stories to fucking share. I've got stories to share that haven't got anything to do with this realm. They've got nothing to do with this 3D realm. In fact, most of my trauma is not this realm. From a little girl, I have been a psychic medium. I have always had to deal with ghosts and entities. Aliens, extraterrestrials, demons, angels, whatever you want to call them. They're all different. Yeah? Like, imagine Star Trek. So from a young age, I've been dealing with this bullshit. In 2024, everything that I'd been dealing internally became external. There weren't no 3D and then there's the 5D. There is none of that no more. The 3D, the 4D, the 5D, all of the dimensions are just one. Who has the eyes to see and who has the ears to hear? No. Past, present and future is one. Things are different. And I've struggled. I'm not gonna lie, I have struggled. I have struggled to deal with and I have struggled to cope with. Because what I used to be able to maintain as I've just got an overactive imagination. Oh no, I don't watch horrors because I've got an overactive imagination. You know, or I don't deal with like dark shit because I've got an overactive imagination. No, I do not have an overactive imagination. I have an open third eye. I have an open crown. What I'm seeing is not imagination from an overactive imagination. It's fucking real. It's fucking real. And most of my life, I have been petrified. I have been petrified for the things that have been done to me. Like paralysis, being held down in bed, which is the least of it, to be fair. I can deal with paralysis. I've been experiencing paralysis from 12 years of age. It's the other fucking shit. Like physically being dragged out of my bed. Physically waking up with bruises and marks on my body. I'm trying to put bruises and marks together and I got whatever. You know, it's entities visiting. It's watching my body levitate in the room while I'm still awake. It's watching entities try and interact with me while I'm still fucking awake. It's being attacked and harmed by things while I'm still fucking awake, like I am now talking to you. You understand me? But because it's only happening to me, prior I could just put it down to imagination. You know what I mean? It's happening, but it ain't really happening. Whereas from 2021, it became impossible to ignore it, because I am flying, I am off the ground, I am levitating, head fucking gone. Yeah? By 2022, I was like, yo, I'm mad. I'm fucking mad. I have to be mad. I've lost my fucking mind. And I'm telling my kids, yo, kids, something is going on with me, you know. I swear to fucking God, I'm losing it. And my son was like, Mom, you're acting like it's the first time you've eaten chocolate, because what I'm experiencing is what I'm explaining is spiritual encounters. It's like, Mom, you've always been spiritual. We sit up for hours and hours. We're up like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning chatting about dimensions, extraterrestrials, whatever. That's me and my kids all day long. So me saying what they're saying in 2022 was uncomprehendable. They just didn't get it. What are you talking about, Mom? This is you. What's different? And I'm saying to them, no. Mm-mm. Not at all. This is not the same. I've seen ghosts. I've dealt with it from young. As little as 4 years of age, I can remember myself interacting with things that weren't really there. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the dragging and the pulling. I'm okay with the extraterrestrials. Bab, I'm explaining to you that I'm going through something different. Try heed, try know. This is different. And when my eyes filled up and I was overwhelmed, my kids just burst out laughing. Like, to them it was like, "Why are you, Mum? Bab, listen." And even when they're telling me, Mum, you know, because they can see that there's shit going on in the house. They can see that Mummy's altar has completely check the shit on my altar is not me. Can you not see? When you're telling Mummy that you went in my room and something pushed you over because you went to touch the altar, I'm trying to tell you, what's going on is not what happened before. It's not what was before. Okay. When blood rituals are going on, when other things are going on, this is not normal. I'm in my room. I'm in my room and they're showing me how to make wands. I'm filing down and I'm operating woodwork equipment in my room, as I'm cutting up all of these pieces of branches and logs and making shit that is being shown to me is from lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of memory. Ancestors are talking to me. I've got Celtic ancestors, Egyptian ancestors, African ancestors, Viking. I'm talking like everyone's coming in and giving me information and getting me to do things. And I personally, I hadn't woken up at the time to know that actually this is my birthright, this is my lineage, I'm a shaman. I didn't know that at the time. I knew I was spiritual. I knew I was a high priestess. I knew I was a divine feminine. Yeah, I knew I was a psychic. I knew I was a medium. I knew I had all the clairs. I can see, hear, taste, smell, feel, energy, hold objects. Yeah. As growing up, I didn't understand why I had so many gifts, because not people in my family, we have one, and I seem to have everybody's gifts and beyond that. So I was already aware of that growing up. I'm trying to explain that in 2021, something happened to me. Some new things started to happen. Yeah, new things started to happen. New information started to come in, and I started doing practices that I've not come across. So by the time we got to 2024, my brain was splitting up into 100 different. I could hear 100 different voices in my head, and it wasn't confusing. It was organized. And I could feel myself losing my mind. And I'm saying to the ancestors in the room with me, if I carry on like this, I'm going to lose my blood clot mind. How is this possible? How is my brain operating like a computer? I'm operating like the processing speed and the processing power is like I'm in a room with 100 computers all operating on AI. I was feeling my neurons in my brain on a cellular level firing off and creating new neurons. I was feeling my body on a cellular level shooting off. I could hear my cells talking to each other in my own body. I can turn my eyes inward and do a full medical examination over myself. I can hold my breath and use air supplies from inside of my body, stored up as oxygen bubbles. I was doing things that I've never even. The downloads that were coming in was so scientific. Like, I'm Googling the information that I'm downloading and confirming on the line, what the ancestors have just said, what God has just said, what the Almighty has just said, is truth and blood clot fact. And then some. So one of the major moves that happened in 2022 going into 2023 when I unlocked my Akashic records, but I thought I knew it all. I thought I knew what there was to spirituality. I was so tapped in and so in tune anyway. Like, I'm a walking lie detector, like Wonder Woman. Like, people can't bullshit me, and I hear thoughts too. I'm telepathic. You know what I mean? I pick up on energy. I pick up on energy from across the world. I have remote viewing from anywhere and with anyone, whether I've met you or I've not met you. I can tap in. And when I say I can tap in, I don't push up myself to tap in, but shit will just come to me and I will know. So I'm doing all of that already. So when things started to really open up and it started to go into different levels, I'm talking celestial beings coming down in my room and having conversations with me, not just the normal ones, you know. I'm talking family. My family tree of celestial beings coming down, ancestors. Yeah, I'm talking about downloads, future, past, presence. I'm talking about the Illuminati and the Matrix. I'm talking about my ancestors and my nan telling me that I am the mother. I am the mother of this diamond. I am the mother of every single multiple dimension out there. How? I am the codes in my DNA, yeah? Who I am in my DNA, who I am spiritually is queen and mother over all and everything, mate. Birds, trees, animals, celestials, beings, you name it. So when I say the level of information and knowledge that has run up on me, saying that I am your... When my ancestors, you know my ancestors, they're all on... They was in my room, yeah, whatever. I'm going through some type of initiation, yeah? And I'm being initiated with a spirit animal. So while I'm going through, after I go through this initiation and this spirit animal bursts out of my body, out my chest into the air, and I see this phoenix bird flying over me, breathing out fire with all the flames rushing around. I'm talking, I can see this bird in my bedroom like I'm looking at you in the camera. It's not like to say, it's in my mind. It's like everything that used to be in my mind's eye is now on the outside of me, and I'm looking at it and it's looking at me. Yeah, them levels there. So when this phoenix bird was thinking, what the phoenix bird was doing, I was doing, because we're linked on it. So when the phoenix bird is birking out its mouth, like whatever it's doing, my neck's birking too, and sounds are coming out of my mouth that really should be coming out of the bird's mouth. But it was almost like the first time the bird or I had spoken in this tone or whatever. So even the way it came out my voice box, a fucking mad thing. So imagine, prior to me being on the bed and this avatar coming out, I've already gone in the bathroom because they've told me set the bath, put this in the bath, light this many candles, burn this, burn that. I've got in the bath, some fucked up shit has happened in the bath. A whole army of blood clot demons. I can see demons as far as the eye can fucking see. And my family and them are in the front line. And next thing you know, as I go down in the water, the spirit's telling me to go under the water because I connect with my marine. I have a lot of marine ancestors and I have a lot of marine spiritual connection for one reason or another. And sorry, I've been in the same position for too long, man. I got like something called hyper joint mobility. So as long as I'm dancing or whatever, I'm fine. But the minute I stay still for like 2 fucking minutes, I can't fucking walk, man. Ugh. So, I'm sorry, let me just pull out my bag, man. Yeah. So, what I'm trying to say is that opening certain portals in myself led to opening up and having access to other dimensions and other things. And whereas before I could say, oh, it's just my imagination playing tricks on me, it got to a point, and it's gone beyond that point now. It is what it is now, isn't it? That it's like, say, this is the entity can be physically touched by me, and they can touch me and I can touch them. So now we're fucking up the round, we're fucking up the laws of possibilities, aren't we? Because I know that I see you and you see me, and I know that you can touch me, but the reason why you can touch me is because you're touching my ethereal, astral or celestial body. Does that make sense? So it feels physical to me, but I can tell myself, or at least before, it's not physical. But once you're seeing something on the outside of you having a physical reaction with you or talking to you, it got to the point where you can't I couldn't no longer pretend that it wasn't what it was, basically. And that was really, really hard. So come 2023, 24, it's just been more of that kind of shit. Just literally like, I'm being fast tracked. I'm being fucking fast tracked. So ending of going into 2023, as I said, my son's in my bedroom with me, and it's all popping off. Everything is being open, and I'm describing what I'm seeing and what's happening to my son, as well as going through the experience. So, for example, imagine this now. For example, in my bedroom, there's a lampshade above me, and it like a diamante one, yeah. So it's got like little hanging diamantes on it. It's not a chandelier. It's just a light shade, yeah, but it looks like a chandelier. And the ancestors tell me to get up on the bed, and when I get up on the bed, so they say, look close at the spider web. So when I'm looking, I say, oh yeah, there is a spider web. So now I'm looking at the spider web. So they said, but look close at the spider web. So as I start to look close at this spider web isn't looking like a spider web anymore. This spider web is looking like a map, yeah, a map. And my ancestors are telling me to study the map. You're gonna need it later. I'm looking at a spider web, but I see a map for true. I see a fucking map. I see a map of a star constellation. They're showing me a star constellation in the blood clot spider web. The way that the web has been weaved is exactly the way the star constellation looks like they're showing me. I understand star constellations. How? I look up at the sky sometimes and I'm thinking, what the fuck? I know that the stars have just aligned because I'm here. Or I'm here because I'm supposed to see those particular stars, and there's something about this particular constellation and me. So when I'm saying that there's things happening in the physical that are linked to the spiritual, it's on them levels. Don't pass that. Pick up this. As something as silly as this, my ancestors would say, pick it up. And because I'm obedient, I would pick it up and I would put it down there. And then later on now, they said, go for the sitting. And I would go for the sitting. And this sitting is linked to something else that is massive and major. Or they tell me, take this to another country and put this down in a particular place in that country right there. And because I've done that, I've gone to a country and I've done that, that secured something for my generation of bloodline. It's like I'm on a mission. It's like every day is a blood clot mission. And it's like every day I get downloads to tell me what to do and what not to do. And some of the downloads are things like for today, my download today, my thing today, and I just cut it then and I just did it. Because I'm not fighting back and forward with spirit. They're telling me, lock off your daughter, lock off the pitney them. Lock off the pitney them, but lock off that one. Because she's being used energetically by her narcissist father, who is also a Freemason and into the fucking devil work. Let me explain something to you that they don't want me to tell you. You see, when these Masons are talking about they've got these secrets, you know what their secrets are? Voodoo, witchcraft, black magic. The secrets are that this dimension is not the only fucking dimension that we are in. And that actually there are several dimensions overlapping each dimension. And all these big fucking secrets that these secret societies think they have is about all of this knowledge that actually we already have in our DNA. And everybody in the blood clot world should be privy to it. This is what they're taking as secret. Our blood clot, our ancestral knowledge. These demons, you know. Because that's what they are. They're the walking dead. They're not real. They ain't got no fucking soul. They ain't got no energy. That's why they feed off us. That's why they feed off us, because they ain't got fuck all. They're the moon. That's what they are. They're the fucking moon. The moon don't shine. The moon ain't got no light. The moon is black. But it goes on like it's so fucking pretty because the sun is shining on it. That's what these fucking dark, white fucking demon walkers are. They're soulless. They're like the fucking moon. So they feed off our energy to brighten them. They hold back our knowledge and secrets so that we can't tap into our ancestor lineage, and that they can harness and access our energy and take our fucking rewards and abundance. And then what they've been able to do, these fucking psychotic fucking demons that are literally living in avatar bodies like this. I'm in an avatar body. I don't look like this. I don't look like this. On my spirit don't look nothing like this. I ain't got nothing to do with this fucking body. It's an avatar. Same so. No different for them. They're in a meat suit too. But what is the entity in them? And who is the entity in them? Because those are the $1,000,000 questions. When you watch the movie Avatar and you see that you've got humans trying to download consciousness into the Avatar meat sack, that's what's fucking going on. That's the fucking truth. And it's been going on. So these fucking dark fucking demon entities have, I won't say conventional, because what I come to understand is, you see my mum and my dad and certain family members, they've been in my life again and again and again. These people have been here around and around and around and around and around in lifetime. That's why it's been so hard for me to break the fucking curse this time around, because they're weaved in. They've deliberately weaved themselves into my genetic core. That's why I felt feelings of obligation to these blood clot monkeys. Yeah, they are monkeys. They don't have no brain. Monkey see, monkey blood clot do. That's why they're fucking monkeys. Monkeys and fucking donkeys. And if it makes sense, it makes sense. If it don't make sense. I'm just dropping facts here. Monkeys and blood clot donkeys. So these fucking monkeys, yeah, I'm gonna share. Spirit wants me to share. Spirit wants me to share a situation in 2024 before I went into the madhouse. These monkeys were running around my house. There was Freemason men in their astral body, meaning they've astral projected, and they've come to my house and they're physically attacking me in my house. That's what was going on before I went into the madhouse. That's why it got to the madhouse, because I'm having to fight entities that everybody else can't see. But that don't mean they're not there. Just because you can't see them, that don't mean they're not there. And I'm having a real life physical experience with these fucking entities in my house. Pulling my hair, talking to me, whispering from underneath the bed, coming on the bed. My ancestors are talking to me at the same time these entities are in my room, you know. So my ancestors are telling me, listen, you don't need to worry about nothing yet. Yeah? They want to kill you, but they can't kill you. And they can't kill you because of all these markings and tattoos that we've put on your body. So even though it's about to get scary, you don't need to get scared. So I'm like, but what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So the ancestors have said to me that you're going to die, but it won't be like what you understand to be a death. But you are going to go through a ceremonial. It's like an initiation of rites. Yeah? They want to kill me because by killing me, they think it will be the end of me. But in addition to wanting to kill me not dying signifies to them who the fuck I am. Does that make sense? So my ancestors are telling me, let them. And I'm scared. What do you mean, let me? Let them kill me. Yeah, let them kill you. Do you know how much deaths, do you know how much times I've died on this fucking journey? Kill me. Right about now, I'm like, kill me, blood clot, every fucking day, every fucking minute, every fucking minute, every fucking minute. I'm prepared to die. I'm prepared to die. I'm prepared to die. Real fucking talk. Every fucking blood clot minute. And that's why I go up levels and levels and levels and levels. You can't catch me. You cannot catch me because I'm ready to die. I'm already fucking dead, nigga. You cannot kill somebody who is prepared to die. You have no control over them. There is nothing I fucking fear. There is nothing. Once you get over the fact, what's the worst thing that can happen in this lifetime? Oh, I'll be dead. Because it can't be being handicapped. It can't be being disabled. It can't be being blind. It can't be having one leg. Yeah? It can't be having no money. Because we see those things every fucking day and people be getting on with shit. So the ultimate thing, number one on the fucking top list, yeah, is death. But I'm not scared to die because I die every day. And this is what these monkeys weren't prepared for. They thought they was going to instill fear in me. My whole life I've been being scared. That's why these entities have been coming to me and dealing with me the way that they are, because it was to come in, take my energy, abuse me and get off. I'm being raped again and again and again and again and again from a child. I'm being raped. And what my ancestors showed me is that I have had to visually see everything that has been done to me. And there's certain things they haven't even shown me yet, because they're like, you know what, you're not ready for that yet. You get what I'm trying to say? That might just make you pop off and go on wicked and bad. So my ancestors know just to drip feed me, because I'm ruthless. I'm fucking ruthless. I've had to become who I am. I've had to step into the energy. I'm not taking no fucking shit from nobody. But I told my ancestors in 2022 when they told me that this was the case. I said, yeah. I said, is that the case, Nanny? That's what you want me to go on and do? I said, the only way that I can do that is if I'm Sasha. Sasha is my teenager, early 20s self, when she really never give a fuck. You know, my inner child and my teenage really never gave a fuck. It's only when I started to have kids and stuff like that, I was like, all right then, let me just pipe down, because there's certain examples that I need to set. But prior to that, my energy has always been in that I don't give a fuck. And it's like spirit's like, no, you need to come down now at the age of 44. And the same energy you used to embody as an inner child and a teenager. So my inner child is Asherah. And my teenager is Sasha. Yeah? Long time before fucking Beyonce Sasha. That's just who I was back in the days. Yeah? And probably that's why Beyonce uses the name fucking Sasha, because she's a fucking energy fucking demon bitch that loves to come and suck on my fucking energy. Yeah? But I put a stop to that. That's half the bullshit that was going on in 2024 too, which also led me in the madhouse. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like saying everything is opening up, and I'm seeing all these celebrities and what the fuck they're up to. I'm like, what's all these celebrities got to do with me? Well, ancestors, what the fuck is going on? You see when they started to whip out what the fuck is going on? You get what I'm trying to say? How everything is being manipulated, everything is being harnessed. Energy, there is no electricity. Let me just put things into perspective. There is nothing called electric. You see this energy pack? This energy pack is not running off electric. This energy pack is running off me. I am the electric. I am the source. It's that level. Yeah? You are the energy. You are the source. You are a utility. You are a utility. And if you know about e-commerce and you start to get into straw man, so e-commerce is the way that the world works. Everything works on e-commerce, buying and selling, trading, yeah? Promissory notes, financial instruments, all that comes under that heading. The straw man element is knowing that these fuckers, that's why they're so hell-bent on, once you have a child, you have to register your child, and your child will have a birth certificate. Once you register your child and your child has a birth certificate, that birth certificate contains a number. You now become a number. Because they now have your number and your birth certificate, as far as they're concerned, you are now a slave. Because you have handed over your right to freedom to them. They've registered you and put you into a document. It's like you've been turned in a blood clot e-commerce because you're now a number. And that's how e-commerce run. E-commerce run on numbers, let's say. But they do anyway, but so it's understandable. So therefore, you don't own your life. You don't own your abundance. You can't tap into your abundance on this earth that the Almighty has made. We're not supposed to be paying for nothing. Not food, not water, not shelter, nothing. Everything is supposed to be free. This is the land of the fucking free. That's why the Bible tells you that everything is in abundance. You don't need to, you shouldn't be here wanting for shit. The charging for water. Did they make the water? Did they make the water? Did they make the water? So how are they going to charge for the water? Did they make the electric? So how are they going to charge for electric? Did they make gas that comes out the ground? So how are they charging for it? How are you charging for something that is coming out the ground? The one time you dug a hole, fair enough. You can say that you get paid for your labour. But it's like digging a well. Once the well is dug, the water comes out the ground and the water is free. So what the fuck are we paying for? And this is the same for schooling, education, law. They've got us here, putting us in 40 hours of work for 40% of your fucking pay, for 40 years of your fucking life type of thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's that fucking bullshit. That's the crimes against humanity. And because you're living fucking longer than they want you to, because really they want you dead. They want you dead as early as possible so they don't have to deal with you and your fuckery, and they can just carry on spending your fucking abundance, your energy and your fucking money. Well, money is energy, so we'll just call it all energy. But you have to understand that money is energy. That's why it's called currency, because it's an energetic flow. Money don't exist. Money is created out of paper. Paper is not real. Paper is not a substance. When I say real, paper is not a substance. If you have a £10 note, and the £10 note, at least in England before our money turned into plastic, if it went in water or got ripped, that was it. That £10 weren't worth nothing. It's a promissory note. It's an IOU. That's how the paper money first started, because prior to that it was gold coins. Gold and silver are tangible. Those really do exist. Paper is not a form of currency. It's not a form of money. But psychologically we've been taught, oh, I give you this paper, you give me these goods, you then take that paper to the banker, and the banker then gives you gold and coin for it. Do you understand the concept? That's what we're weaved in now. E-commerce and signing our fucking souls. You might as well say, I will say, signing your souls over to the devil every time you register a fucking pitney. So, coming back to the earlier point about having all of these gifts. I knew all of this from about 17 years of age when I came across Dr. Malachi York and the ancient Egyptian order. So those teachings taught me enough about what was going on in the Matrix. At least I thought they taught me enough about what was going on in the Matrix. I've come to understand so much more since then. Yeah? But the point is that I already knew this information. But in 2021, since 2021 to this current day, Bab, I'm telling you straight, I knew fuck all. My understanding was not the understanding and the level that I have today about what's actually going on in this world of ours. And that nothing about it is what you think. Nothing. And everything that you think is scary, like child trafficking, sex abuse, all those kind of fucking things, it's worse than that. It's worse than what we know. They're actually boiling children. They're going from being alive children to going into a pot and being boiled and eaten. And inside the pot is not even water. They're boiled them with piss and fucking... These people eat shit and piss. When you're watching those, or when you come across, or when you hear about those certain porn sites or certain swinger groups, and you're saying, what? They want you to piss on them. They want you to shit on them. You have to understand what's going on. Remember, these are entities in a meat suit. They eat shit. Never mind them eating shit. We are being fed shit. We are being fed our own shit. We are being fed our own piss. And we are being fed our own bodies. We are being fed human beings. It was a big shock when everybody found out they were putting horses in the burgers, innit? It was a big shock to find out, say, it weren't burger, it weren't cow you was eating, it was horse. Yeah, it'd be a bigger shock when you find out it's not cow, horse at all. It's fucking humans. All those children that get killed for being sexually assaulted to the point where their eyes are black because they've got the panda. When they're being killed and murdered, they're not burying these fucking bodies. They're grinding them blood. Why? Because they get a kick out of you eating you, knowing that they're eating you too. They actually get a kick out of it. That's how sick these fucking entities are. And when I say sick, this is normal to them, you know. So they don't see themselves as sick. They see themselves as it's a normal day. But it is fucking sick. And this is why when we talk about crimes against humanity, we're not just talking about the poisoning of the food. the poisoning of the water, the gas and electric. It goes far beyond that, babe. What the crime against us is that not only are they doing this on a physical level, not only are they doing this on a spiritual level, but they have been doing it for lifetimes and lifetimes. I have not been home. I want to go home. But they've had me on a cycle going around and around and around, murdering. Do you know how many times I've been murdered? Do you know how many times these people have put me on a stake and burnt me, cut my throat, killed me, fucking buried me alive? Lifetime I'm talking about, because I am still the same soul. My soul don't change. My avatar changes, but my soul don't change. My soul remembers. My soul remembers what it's been through. My soul remembers why I'm here. I'm talking to my higher self. Certain aspects of my higher self are fully embedded within me. I tap into higher consciousness outside, but it's like I've got the roadmap. It's like I've got the cheat code, because certain parts of myself are in the future. They've already been here. They know what's going on. Yeah, they know the pit holes. They know what these people are doing. But you have to remember that things happen in cycles, and you don't know how long a cycle is. You know, we have 3-month cycles here in the UK. We have 3 months of spring, 3 months of summer, 3 months of autumn, 3 months of winter. That is a cycle, a predictable cycle. You know that the planet, that the trees and everything else is going to move differently depending on where we are in that cycle. That's called a seasonal cycle. But we also have cycles that last for years. We have cycles that last for centuries, cycles that last for generations. You can't quantify things in a time way, because celestially, astrally, etherically, things don't operate on a 9 to 5. Spirit don't work on a 24-hour clock system. You understand? The Almighty don't work on a 24-hour clock system. So when I say we're in a cycle, we've been in a moon cycle for fucking however many blood clot years. And little by little, we're coming into sun cycle. Now imagine Dr. Malachi York was talking about this 20 plus years ago, even before that. I'm just saying, I come to know him at 17 years of age, which is 20 plus years ago. And Dr. Malachi York's telling us we're in a moon cycle, but guess what? We will be coming into a sun cycle soon. And some people might say, oh, Dr. Malachi York is a paedophile and rare. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you fucking something. The people calling Dr. Malachi York a paedophile are actually the real paedophiles. Yeah? The people calling Dr. Malachi York are actually the real paedophiles. This is a black man that tapped into his spiritual abilities, tapped into source, tapped into ancestral knowledge, unlocked his Akashic records, and then started to make fucking shit happen. He had started to get the black community to really come together, and not just the everyday mundane black community. He had celebrities and everything, Lauryn Hill, Wesley Snipes, proper people down at Tamaray in fucking America, fucking billing up the land down there, trying to create Nubia here, Nibiru here on fucking earth. That's what Dr. Malachi York was about. The man's written, so you can't even comprehend the amount of books this man has written. How does somebody write that amount of books in half of a lifetime? You tap into supernatural powers on it. So again, anybody who's got a problem with Dr. Malachi York in his personal life, have your problem with Dr. Malachi York and whatever you think you know. But that don't take away from the knowledge. That don't take away from the information. That don't take away from the blood clot diamonds my man's been putting down for generations. It doesn't take away from that. And that's what I'm about. So me knowing this information about certain things from a young age, and then getting to my 40s and actually now understanding it on a cellular level, understanding it in my bones, understanding it in my blood, understanding what my blood is all about. Usually I won't know what my blood, you won't know what your blood is doing unless you go to the hospital and have a blood test. I don't go to the hospital to have blood tests anymore. I just feel what's going on with my blood, and if I have a period, I can see what's going on with my blood, and my ancestors will be talking to me. You know, that month my body would tell me if I had a stressful month or if I had a non-stressful just from the way that my menstrual cycle flows. I've seen my menstrual cycle be diluted in water and given to plants and watching the plants progress and flourish. My ancestors have told me put my menstrual cycle on my head. I had alopecia 3 times from being married to my husband. Alopecia universal, meaning I've got no hair on my body. This is the trauma and fucking shit that I was going through in the 3D. Yeah, next level. Like I said, I got testimonies. My ancestors telling me put blood on my hair, put your menstrual blood on my head. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I mean, not that I'm not doing that, but I need to research that. When I've gone online and seen that, Bab, you know, for hair loss, that's the remedy, blood. When you're paying for a hair transplant and when you're paying for hair treatments, the number one ingredients, if it's not cheap and it's not just whatever, it's blood, whether that be through the placenta or direct blood. When the other day I went to Istanbul, they wanted to take stem cells from my belly and cut them off and put them and inject them back into my head to stimulate hair growth. I'm trying to explain to you. I'm trying to explain that our blood is not being explained to us properly. They don't want you to know the power of your own blood. They don't want you to know what your blood and what your DNA is actually capable of. I'm learning that through spirit. My ancestors are teaching me about my DNA, about my blood, about my lineage, about my ancestors, about who the fuck I am. Yeah, is being taught to me through realms that you can't see and that you would say don't exist. But how can they not exist? When I'm living proof and testimony today, I'm not in a madhouse. I'm not in a madhouse and I don't pay bills. I don't pay bills. When the bills come in, the ancestors said, put them on the altar. Put them on the altar and don't worry about them. I said, put them on the altar, what do you mean? Ain't that gonna mean that the bailiffs are coming out soon? They said, no, put them on the altar. I said, bomba clot. When I said the letters started to pile up on the blood clot altar, next thing you know, the door started to nobody's knocking the door. Letters ain't coming as often. Letters ain't coming none at all. I ain't paid a gas or electric bill in like 5-6 years, mate. So when I'm talking what I'm talking, I'm not gassing, I'm talking truth. My ancestor says to me, from I went into mental health services, they was like, good. Because in this reality, mental health is sanity. And sanity is mental health. I'm going to say it again for the people at the back. In this reality, being diagnosed with mental health means you are sane. If you haven't been dealt with mental health, you are mad. Why? People that are being diagnosed with mental health conditions such as psychosis, schizophrenia, dissociative identity disorder, whether you term that as hearing voices or seeing things that are not really there, hallucination, it doesn't really matter. What you are seeing and what you are hearing is actual facts. There is an entity telling you to kill yourself. There are several entities living in your head. These are real fucking entities that the world can't see. Like the Bible says, we do not fight against blood and flesh. No, we do not fight against what you can see. We are not fighting against the things that present themselves in the material realm. We are fighting against the unseen. We are fighting against the unknown. We are fighting against principalities. So when you're hearing fucking something in your head telling you shit, it's because we are warring against the unseen. We are not warring against the seen. So if people are walking around not fucking seeing and not fucking saying, acting like they're fucking saying, they are mad. You are mad. You are mad because you cannot see the actual reality. You see the matrix, but you do not see the actual reality. That is mad. That is what's fucking mad. That is what is mad. You are mad. If you can't see ghosts and you can't see fucking entities, you are insane. You are locked out of your own fucking reality. You are locked out of your own spiritual, subconscious self, You are not just the conscious self. You are not just the outwards facing you. You are the inside facing you too. And the inside facing you should and is able to tap into realms and dimensions that the 3D self just can't comprehend. So when they say, oh, the definition of insanity is getting up and doing the same thing over and over again, that is the definition of insanity. Getting up every day and not seeing the reality for what the fucking reality is, and going about life in a fucking daydream, that's insanity. Straight up. What they're calling mental health is actually the fucking reality. So once the ancestors broke that down to me, I was like, oh, okay then. So they said, all right, well, this is what we're going to do then. Everything that we do from now on, we go forward with the label of being blood clot mad, innit? Go forward with the label of blood clot mad. It's nothing to me to be labelled in this realm as mad, knowing what I've just explained to you. So when my ancestors told me that, they said, listen, your mental health now becomes your protection. Your mental health now becomes your protection in this fucking psychotic Truman show. Yeah? Your mental health now becomes your protection. What they have labelled you as now becomes your protection. You've been labelled of having psychosis, meaning that you can see, hear, whatever things, yeah? So therefore that now becomes your protection, because you know what you're seeing is what you're seeing. You know what you're hearing is what you're hearing. And that's what we're following. I'm only following spirit right now. I do not take advice from humanoids. I do not take advice from extraterrestrials and entities. I take advice from the people that I have learnt to trust over decades. I've had 40 decades on this planet, trialing and testing the voices and the entities that are around me. And they're the only people I listen to. So I was explaining you earlier on that my ancestors have told me to make a move and get rid of the pitney. Today I told my daughter today, I don't understand why you're phoning my phone, cussing about the fact that we haven't spoken in a week, even though we just spoke on Saturday, Friday, whatever. But the point is, the phone works two ways, innit? If you really want to chat to me, phone me, and if you don't want to chat to me, don't phone me. But you're not my only pitney. I have 5 fucking pitney. And this week I've been painting and decorating my grandchildren's room, then getting ready for their fucking party. I've been up to my older son's house. You understand me? I've been decorating my house. I've been at her house helping her paint and decorate her new place. I've been dropping off whatnot, Tarana. Does that make sense? I ain't even had a sit down with my fucking self. The most I've done is had 2 spiritual baths, because the spirit said. So this is why today I said, you know what, spirit, all I want to do today is come sit down in the park and fall asleep under a tree. I don't want to do nothing. I don't know why, but the last week and a half, spirits had me drinking fizzy pop. I've got my water too, don't get me wrong. I'm trying this water today. I only drink spring water. I don't drink mineral water. Spring water is the better water. The mineral water has a lot of heavy metals, which can be alright, but it depends on the metals. And because I'm a metal-based body, we're all metal-based bodies, okay? So if you don't know that your body has a lot of metal in it, then, you know, whatever. That's why you are a utility. That's why you're able to move frequency and energy in your body the way that you are, because you're metal too. Yeah. But yeah, I prefer the still water, but this is a bit sweet. They're not too different in the sweetness, which is really weird because I was not expecting that. And even though this bottle says sugar-free, it hasn't got any of those fucking sugars, you know, like the aspartame that they're using trying to fucking kill us off. It's just got natural flavours and sugar, so I'm giving that a try today. But between the black currant and the ginger beer, it's been a mad one. Even my kids are like, why are you drinking ginger beer, Mum? Because it's a drink that their dad used to drink. So I don't know why, but because I know that I don't always control my body as a shaman. I have a lot of the time it's spirit channeling through me, and it's a lot of the time my body will just move with spirit. So I do a lot of dancing. I spend about 6, 7, 8 hours just dancing and just changing the energy of the universe, of the solar system. When I go into trance, I'm not just here on earth. I'm everywhere. But coming back to the point anyway, when Spirit said lock off my daughter, I just phoned her today and I said, listen here, yeah. The big long cocky text that you sent me yesterday. I said, the fact that you put the phone down on me, yes, the fact that you feel, say you can put the blood clot phone down on me, you putting the phone down on me because you think I'm not phoning your phone enough. Make that make fucking sense. That's why you know it's a demon blood clot riding it, because it don't make sense. It don't make sense anyway. Yeah? And I said, really, what you're feeling is codependence and attachment issues is what you're going through. So you, more than anybody, need to detox from me because you've been so blood clot happy. It's like, say, I says to her, and I've been telling her her whole life, I am not your fucking entertainment. I'm not here to fucking pacify you when you can't think of something to do. I'm not here for it. I'm a mom and I take care of the things that I need to do. But if you think you're going to have me on lockdown, now that you've moved out my house 2 weeks, and you think I need to be phoning you every day and running you every day, bitch, you're fucking mistaken. You got me fucked up, blood. All of yous have got me fucked up. Because I ain't that bitch. So I made her know today, no, I will not be phoning your phone until 2 weeks' time because I need a detox from you. Do not phone my phone and do not look for me. When I am ready to find you, I will phone you and find you. And if you're not happy with that, then that's on you, yeah. But I don't need to have to pacify you. And I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to entertain no blood clot body. Right now, people are crying and scratching and tearing out their blood clot heart because they can't see me. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know, because it's just that energy right now. Most of the if you're a chosen one, you have nobody around you because you know that these fuckers have just been harnessing and feeding off your fucking energy. And it don't matter if it's your mom, your pitney, your dog, your cat, your grandma, your granddad, your best friend, or the bitch down the street. It don't matter. That's what's going on. Bare energy harvesting. You're not eating from my fucking table if you're not putting down. I said, bitch, what have you done for me? I said, this relationship is not 50-50. This relationship is not even 90-10. All you do is take. I'm not having it no more. You're a big girl. You're 18. It's time to stand up on your own 2 blood clot feet. And if you can't stand up on your own 2 feet, good luck to you. Good luck to you. Yeah, good luck to you. Because right about now, this world is only for the survivors. Yeah, and if you can't survive by yourself, blood, then guess what? There's no point you fucking being here. There's no point you fucking being here. Because this little child is telling me, if I don't conform and commit, she's going to kill herself. Babe, you do what you need to do. This is where these entities take it. If I'm not running her down and phoning her phone and making sure that she's okay, she's going to kill herself. Babe, if that's what you want to do, you go do it. Yeah? Go do it. Yeah? If that's what's in your heart, go do what's in your heart. But I am not going to be kept hostage. I am not going to be held at ransom for anybody. I'm employed by the Almighty. What the Almighty tells me to do, that's what I'm doing. And the Almighty right now has told me that you are riding with a bunch of blood clot demons. And you are riding with your dad's family and them fucking demons. So whether you know it or not, you are being used to come and fuck with me and my peace. And I'm letting you know, bitch, there ain't nobody on this planet that I will be putting before me ever again. I did it with your father. I did it with your siblings. I did it with my mom. I did it with my dad. I did it with grandparents. I did it with family. Let me tell you something, yeah. You don't know me. I'm the nicest, kindest person, and that's what these people's problems are. They're spoiled. They're spoiled by my energy. My energy is so beautiful. My energy is so powerful. My energy is so abundant. When I come around, everything is nice. Everybody's nice. You understand where I'm coming from? You can see it. If I fuck a man today, by tomorrow the man's pretty, his skin's healed up, his hair's curly. I'm not fucking joking. I'm talking he's gone from rags to blood clot riches with one fuck. That's why I don't fuck. You're not coming round here to eat off me. That can't go on. No pussy, no run for over 3 blood clot years. I sit with myself, blood. I use my energy, I use my orgasmic energy, and I fucking mash it up in the celestial realm. I mash up the blood clot ley lines. Everything they're planning, all the energy they're trying to sticky, all these fucking cages they're trying to put us in. That's what I use my fucking energy for. Ancestors said pussy energy. But it doesn't really matter. It's not even that it is pussy energy, ancestors. It's just creative energy. I use my creative energy to do good. I'm not using my creative energy to satisfy no man. I use my creative energy to give to my ancestors. Yeah? I use my creative energy to enhance the things that are working and supporting in my life. When I say giving my creative energy, because there's some hoes out there that think they're fucking Shango. There's some hoes out there that think they're fucking a goon. There's some mans out there that think they're fucking Oya. No. I don't know about all of that. That's not how it gets explained to me, no. I don't have sex with deities. I don't have sex with entities. I don't have sex with my entities, with my ancestors. I don't have sex with the divine. What I do is I harness my creative energy. So even the way it feels, I'm not thinking about fucking, but I'm coming. I'm not thinking about getting fucked, but I'm having an orgasm. Because I've learned, I've sat down with myself and I've listened to the instructions of my ancestors of how to conjure and get my energy going. Get my energy going in a way that it raises to the point of orgasmic energy. I can eat a fruit, for example, and have orgasmic experiences with it. Does that make sense? Because it's energy. It's energy that can be stimulated in the body. It's like joy and happiness. I don't have to watch a movie or hear a joke to laugh. I'm in my bedroom laughing till I'm crying. I'm laughing till I'm cow-bawling, mate. Because I just feel these bursts of joy and happiness randomly or at will, even now. Do you know what I'm saying? Just talking about it, my body is filled with energy because I'm transmitting energy. I am a utility. Fuck utility warehouse. Fuck British Gas. I am a utility. I can generate energy. I can generate my own energy. I know how to harness and keep life force energy in for me. And I thought, because I had all this energy and life is so abundant, give it to who don't even fucking deserve it. Just constantly throwing fucking diamonds at swines. So that was my karmic lesson to learn. No, honey, you're shifting the law of balance. We didn't give you all this abundant energy for you to just give away to fucking monkeys. No, we gave you this energy to do something with it. So because I've learned that and I now understand that, that's what I do with my energy. I've cut everybody out of my life. The Almighty has cut everybody out of my life. And it hasn't been easy. I've cried. Because I also have been codependent. I've also been codependent on my daughter. What she's feeling, I feel too on a human, mundane level. I feel too, Summer. I feel it. I do. But I can't submit to it because I know there's bigger energies going on in the background. And I explain what I'm explaining to my daughter. So it's not like she doesn't have an over understanding because she's spiritual too. She's a high priestess too. She sees things. She will come back to me and say, you know what, Mum, you know when you mention rare tear, it's true, you know, because of rare. Or you know what, Mum, I had a dream last night. You understand me? Listen to my dream. And she's dropping nuggets and coins too. So I know who she is. She birthed out of my womb. But she also was a child that I was asked to have, not that the divine gave me. Her dad asked me to have her, and then the minute I have her, he didn't want to know. It's like he's left me to her. It's like she and me is his Masonic sacrifice. But even though it's her and me as the sacrifice, he's actually using her to sacrifice me before he sacrifices her. I can't allow you to sacrifice me, princess. I cannot allow him to use you to sacrifice me. So I have to cut you off. I have to cut you off. Because if I go down, you go down. We all go down. I can't afford to go down. So you sit over there because you can't do... If you are not with me, he has no use for you. That's what needs to be understood. If you are not connected to me or around me, he has no use for you. So I'm trying to free you, believe it or not. It don't feel like it. Honestly, it don't feel like it. It feels like abandonment. It feels like I'm dissing you. It feels like you're getting thrown away. And I get it, princess. But you know that ain't it. You know that ain't it. Because you know I'm madly in love with you. I'm madly in love with all my children. I do anything for them. I won't sacrifice myself though. Not again. Never again. I've seen how many times I've done it in the past, and I will not do it again. So I told her, I won't be speaking to you for 2 weeks. She said, that's fine. That's fine. If you don't want to speak for me for 2 years, that's fine too. I said, oh, you don't want me to speak for 2 years? No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying if that's what you want to do. I said, well, as long as you're not saying that, because if you were saying that, I'd be more than happy to. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I feel right now. My cut-off game is serious, man. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't even care if you came out of this crutches, yeah? I don't care. The minute I see your energy switch, and I'm seeing your energy switch all day long to the point where I just want to grip you in your throat, I shouldn't be feeling like I want to grip you in your throat. Your energy is off, man. I see the demons running around, the things that you're getting involved in, the things that you're doing. Me and you are not the same. We're not the same. And I can no longer deny it anymore for the fact that you're my daughter in this realm. Because in the other rounds, I'm watching you kill me. I'm watching you plotting on me. And it's all fucking real. It's all fucking real. This realm ain't no more realer than all the other fucking multi-dimensional rounds that I'm traveling on. All of them are equally the same. So I'm treating everybody the fucking same on these rounds. And when I see your dodgy, and remember, it's not just her, you know, my other sons too. My 2 older sons. And when I got locked in the madhouse, the 3 of them moved like none of them wanted to help me get out. I need you to write a letter. Oh, nah, I don't know about that. I need you to come down. Oh, nah, I don't know about that. I need you to do this. Oh, I don't know about that. When I came out the madhouse, I went to Africa and the fucking Illuminati blocked all my bank cards. I couldn't access my money. I've got over 50 grand in the bank and I can't access no fucking money. I've gone to 6 different cash points and I can't get no fucking money out. Like I said, surrender. I don't fight against it. I don't fight with the Illuminatis when they're going on with their bullshit. I surrender. Oh, really? That's what you think? Well, let me see what the Almighty thinks. I was in the madhouse. The last day I had to appeal is the day they gave me the letter. So they gave me the letter on Sunday. I had to the Monday, the 18th of April. Sorry, the 18th of March 2024 was my last day to appeal. You have 14 days to appeal, meaning that I've been in this madhouse for 13 days and they haven't told me about my rights or nothing. I'm just getting them on Sunday. And Spirit says to me, don't even read the letter on Sunday night when they gave me, you know. I never read the letter until the Monday morning, knowing that it's my last day. And on that last day of my appeal, Spirit told me what to do in the blood clot madhouse. Get the phone from them. Look on the board over there. In the room, there's a notice board about, you know, what time this is, what time that is. If you've got a complaint, what number to ring, whatever. They said, call this number there. So I called that number there. The woman was like, right, I'll send you a list of solicitors, blah, 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 blah. I send the application, boom, boom, boom. On the same day, I had a solicitor, I had a lawyer, and I had an appeals date. I went to the appeals. The solicitors are Mason, the lawyers are Mason, my social workers are Mason, my 2 doctor consultants are a Mason, the 3 fucking people are a Mason, the nurse next to me is a fucking Mason, and the fucking, this fucking dude, you don't get more Mason than him. Spirit didn't need to tell me that he's a Mason. I know he's a Mason. Yeah? And it's me one in this room. And Spirit had already told me, shut your mouth, say less. They're going to talk some fucking bullshit in there. Shut your mouth. It's a reaction they're looking. When I say I had to sit down there in that appeal and listen to these people lie against me. Lie, you know. Lie out of their mouth. Say things that don't make sense. When she come in, she was erratical. She was refusing. She was on medication and she was erratical. Where. Now she's refusing medication. She's a lot calmer. But we think we need to up her medication. So I'm here in the madhouse. I'm calmer.
I'm not taking your medication and I'm fine. But you think I should still be here taking medication. You know, at the end of the appeal, when we went back in, they overturned my appeal. They didn't grant me my appeal and gave the order to the doctor, letting him know that basically he can keep me in here for as long as he wants. By the time I got back to the hospital, because the appeal is done in a different part, I mean, the grounds are massive, but it's a different building. By the time I got back over to the building, like where I slept and where I was locked in, couldn't leave the building at will. Nobody would open the door. There was patients there that could go in and out. I weren't one of them. I'm 2 to 1. There's 2 members of staff with me at all times, including night time when I'm sleeping, including when I'm going to the shower, including when I'm going to the fucking toilet. 6 of them are jumping on me to pin me down, to inject me with medication that I've refused to take. This is what's going on in the fucking madhouse. Everybody in the blood clot madhouse is a fucking demon. Everybody in the madhouse is in on it. That's my fucking reality. And I'm having to sit there and go on like, I can't see what's really going on. So I'm just going to play this game with you. But at the same time, I'm also playing a different game because I do know what's fucking going on. But guess what? Like my mum always said, play fool to catch fucking wise, innit? Play fool to catch wise. And my ancestors are very, very good at making sure that I'm playing the fool's game. You know how much people underestimate me? You look at me and you think I'm dibby. You think I'm dibby, innit? That's right. Anything but. On every level. Intellectually, I'm PhD level, yeah. I'm qualified university level PhD. I'm intellectual. I have a very intellectual mind. I tap into my genius gene. I'm a genius. The shit that I do, the shit that I know, the shit that I think about, even I'm like, what the fuck? What? Spiritually, I told ya, I'm a shaman. A fucking shaman. Not only just am I a shaman, you know, I'm a generational shaman. I come from a bloodline of blood clot shamans. Spiritually, emotionally, I'm emotionally intelligent. I've done qualifications on emotional intelligence. I understand emotions. I understand emotions because I see them energetically, and I understand emotions because I've studied emotions. I'm NLP qualified. I'm a neuro-linguistic programmer, meaning I know how to reprogram someone else's mind. But I do that anyway. But I still went and got the qualification. I still went and got the fucking qualification. I'm Prince 2 practitioner. Know how to manage, control projects, or manage projects in controlled environments. You can't tell me how to do something, Bab. I know how to do. I know how to manage. I know how to do. I know how to build things. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a project. It could be a summer school. It could be a house. It could be a school. I've built schools. I've built and opened schools. I get headhunted to help people open schools. I'm not just sitting here twiddling thumbs, mate. I'm not here twiddling thumbs. I own a tech company. I own several businesses. I'm not just here twiddling thumbs. Whatever the Almighty tells me to do, that's it. I'm on it. So I'm not just sitting here as some dibby person in the 3D, just having a 3D experience. No way. No way. No fucking way. No fucking way. So all those skills that Spirit has told me to learn, all those courses, all those whatever Spirit's like, get on this. I don't know why. Why are you doing that, man? You're doing too much, man. That's what people say. That's what people have said my whole life. She's too much, man. She's always doing too much. Because you can't compete with me because I'm always on the move. When you think you've reached the level, Bab, that really? Do you think that was the level? That weren't the level. I've got ABC behind me. When you think you're touching a level like me, you're not. You're not, Bab. A mum with 1 child and a mum with 5 children is still a mum. Yeah, that's true. But a mum with 5 children and a mum with 1 child is a different mum. Doesn't make it better or worse. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying their experiences are different. Raising 1 child is a different experience from raising 2, 3, 4, or 5. It's different. There's a lot more emotional intelligence required when you're managing 5 different individual souls than there is when you're managing 1. So therefore, you're learning skills just on that level, not to mention organization skills, whatever it is, on a mundane operational level or on a spiritual strategic level, it doesn't matter. The skill set is different. Yes, we're both moms, but we're different type of moms. We've got different skills. Again, not necessarily good or bad, but we do have different skills. It's 144 people. I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, I've had some things to get off my chest, and lately Spirit just has me talking about things that I don't necessarily come on to say, but I'm glad I've got certain things off my chest because they've been telling me to talk about these fucking Freemasons, and I'm not sure if it's going to be on the next video, but I'm gonna go into more about the Masonic stuff, about what my family have said. So for example, me being the head of the Masons, my nan and granddad have made me know the Masons the Masons that we see today. And remember, there's lots of branches of Masonic orders. It's like church. There's lots of dominations in church. There's lots of branches off, if you like, from the Freemason. But regardless of what, I want to just talk to the 33-degree Masons that think they're on a level and no shit. My ancestors and my nan who says she's the mom of the blood clot Masons, she has told me, yeah, and I've seen it personally, that you guys don't know fuck all. The information that they have been harnessing and keeping for how many centuries or generations or whatever you want to call it is our ancestral knowledge, and they've taken it and they've fucking run with it, and it's like become Chinese whispers. So half of these rituals and things that they're doing have got nothing to do with what it was originally about. And my answer is like, you've got the knowledge and the codes in your DNA. It's all in your blood. You know everything. You are the next in line to be commanded. You are the magistrate. Buckingham Palace is yours, mate. It's fucking yours. I saw myself because I went through my coronation outside Buckingham Palace, dressed in outfits that looked like fucking Bridgerton time era. But I love Bridgerton. But it's like, say, they showed me my coronation as Queen Charlotte, but also my coronation as Queen today. I'm a fucking queen, bab. You can't tell me fuck all. I will not be paying for anything. I will not be doing anything. I've told them, if you knock my blood clot door looking for a bill, your first fucking born is dead. Simple, let's go back to Moses. Your firstborn's blood clot dead. Don't knock my fucking door. Don't knock my door. Don't chat to me. Don't send me a letter. None of yous. Because you're all listening on this call anyway, so make it be known. Any one of you come face to face with me, everyone in your family is fucking dead. They're dead anyway, you fucking monkeys. I'm not playing with you anymore. I'm not playing with fucking none of yous anymore. You're full of fucking shit. You eat shit and you're full of fucking shit. I've got no respect for you. I don't care if you're police. I don't care if you're... I went into the courts and told the judge, this is my court. This is my court. This is my court. You should have seen the fucking bitch. My court, my court. I said, bitch, this is not your fucking court. I said, this is my court. I am the highest authority in here. You should have seen her. I am the highest authority in here. The highest authority. Do you understand? The highest authority. You should have seen her. Security, 6 fucking security guards in the fucking court trying to tell me what? Touch me? Let any one of you put a hand on me. Go on. I fucking double dare you, blood. Put a hand on me. I sat down the same place in the blood clot court. Put a hand on me. I beg ya. I said, Almighty, I'm going to need you to come down right now, and show up and show out. I said, Almighty divine creator in the court, I'm going to need you to come down, and I'm going to need you to show up and show out in this fucking court. So said, so blood clot, done blood. I never come out of that court. I was the last one there was like over 40 people in this court thing. When I said, Almighty, I need you to come down and fucking show out. Listen, there weren't nobody in the court area, like the bit where you wait before you go into court, and there's like probably about 15 different courtrooms just on the first floor. Nobody, blood, tumble blood clot weed. Nobody. When I walked out of that court with my son and the fucking demon woman that had come along with me because I'd been set up by foot nigger 5, we were the only people in there. The only people in there. Everything that I went to get sorted out that day in court got sorted out. When fuck nigger phoned me the next day, because he should have come court with me, because he's the one who's got me wrapping up certain fucking things in these court documents on about where because I've gone in, but I've submitted documents. I have defaced my birth certificate, my English birth certificate, and I've defaced it by putting a stamp on it with the Queen's face and then signing my signature across her face. In UK, it's supposed to be a sin, a law, a breaking of law to deface the Queen's face. No, yeah, it's a disrespect. But I'm letting you know who the fuck I am. Queen who? I am the fucking Queen. So I defaced her fucking face and put my name on there, on my birth certificate, photocopied that on blue paper, send that in with a bag of my fucking stuff. All of those things, every day, every week, on the same day, I posted out so it licked the court on the same day every fucking week. For so many weeks, you have to serve certain papers on them from divine law and justice, to give them a chance to repent. I'm telling you, I'm awake. I'm telling you that I'm not lost at sea. I'm telling you that you no longer have my birth certificate. I'm telling you, you no longer have me. I'm telling you, I'm a fucking awake and I'm mature. I will take care of my finances, thank you. I will take care of my inheritance. Give me my divine trust. The court's got money for me. You know, as time goes by and I start to pull out all of these documents to show you what it looks like, because I get it, at the moment it just sounds like gas, and I'm fine with that. Do you understand me? Because I don't have nothing to prove. Because it's all there anyway, and it's so neatly filed and labelled too. Spirit weren't messing around, because they knew there would be a day where receipts have to be produced. So my receipts are organised, waiting for that day. So it's not a problem. But I'm letting you know that when I went into that courtroom and the bitch was like, this is my court, where, and I turned around and said, bitch, I don't think so. This is my court. I'm the highest authority in here. I saw that she's got my blue papers on her desk. And the joke is, this ain't a blue paper hearing. This is a divorce proceeding hearing. So why have you got my blue papers that I've submitted to the court in a different way? I've submitted them on the court. I've submitted them to 10 Downing Street, to the Prime Minister. I've submitted them to the Prime Minister's secretary. You have to submit them to the Vatican. The Pope has to get a document too. Every day, remember, for so many weeks, he's not getting one document. They're all getting it. So there's about 11 or 12 different institutions, like, for example, the Office of Vital Statistics, which is where your birth certificates and your death certificates are registered. So all of these organizations, the police, the court, medical, Vatican, politics, whatever, those, everybody needs to get a fucking documentation. Everybody needs to be served papers so that they know who the fuck you are. But the minute you do that, know that it is war. Know that it is war. Know that these people are coming for your blood clot. They're gonna take your kids off you. They're gonna take everything that you've got, your business, they're gonna go ham. And they have gone ham. They did go ham. And I'm still here today. Can you imagine how pissed they are? I'm still here today. And not only am I here, I'm stronger than when they even first started to attack me. They've been attacking me my whole life, don't get me wrong. But the minute I served those fucking papers, it was the next level. And I went through court and they took my kids, and I already said, listen, left them with the blood clot kids. You think they can take the kids? They don't take the kids. The kids belong to me. The Almighty said, the kids belong to me. I said, you know what, Almighty, from you've got them and they're safe, that's fine. No harm can come to them. Because remember, I'm a mum, I carry the essence of Isis, man. I am mother. You fuck with my kids, man. You fuck with me on the next level. Worse than a normal level. Oh, thank you, ancestors. Worse than a normal level. Worse. I don't play. Even in my family, nobody chats to my kids too hard. If they need discipline or trouble, that's my job. Yeah, I try to say, but don't even look at my pitney. Everybody else's kids, they come to my house. No, I tell them to sit down and behave themselves or do whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? And you might be thinking, well, why is it okay for them and why is it okay for you? Because I work with divine fucking judgment. I work with divine judgment. You can't tell me, you can't say nothing to my kids when you're out there fucking worshipping demons, you dickhead. You want to come and talk to my divine righteous kids? You want to come and tell my fucking kids something and they are divine? Fuck yourself. Fuck you. Do not talk to me or my fucking children. Do you understand? Do not. If you are not walking in divine light, if you do not know what upright is, if you are not fucking righteous, if you are not said right, if you are not comfortable talking the truth and hold the whole fucking truth, do not talk to me and my fucking children. And I just hit that. So if I'm looking at you and I can see that you are fucking dirty, and I don't mean just dirty in a way that you love fuck and put yourself out there and how much blood clot sex demons you're working with. I'm talking about dirty as in your heart is dirty, your mind is dirty. No, you cannot chat to me and my children. When I'm talking to you and your children, my mind is not dirty, my heart is not dirty. I am not wishing bad mind on you. I am not secretly looking in your face and smiling and thinking something different in my head or plotting something against you. No. When I say something, that is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. That is not an assumption. That is not a presumption. That is a fact. And if you walk in that energy, I have no problem with you correcting me or one of my children. But if you don't walk in that energy, you better not even think about it. And I don't care if you're my mum, my dad, my grandparents or anybody else. As long as you are a demon and you have been identified as such, know your fucking place. When I take my children to my mum's house, she does not smoke in the house. She goes in her garden to smoke. Because you cannot smoke and do your fuckery around my children. And I don't need to beg her to behave right. She knows. The people in my family and that have been around me, they already fucking know. Do not fuck with me and mine, because I do not play. And I don't have to do you nothing. Divine judgment will snap your ass down. And that's what these motherfuckers are experiencing right now. Do you know how much divine judgment is going down? Do you know how much fucking divine judgment? You know how much people's lives are being ripped up and ripped blood clot out? Do you know how much things Spirit shows me? Do you know who... I know who's got AIDS. And I know who got the AIDS. And I know the 30 of them that have got fucking AIDS. Who was fucking who, when, where, and why? How do I know that information? I don't chat to people. But I'll fucking tell you everything about them. That's what people don't seem to comprehend. I know the plot before the plot, motherfucker. Why? Because I am the fucking plot. I am the fucking plot. It's like now, I know that I'm going to a country in October already. We're not even in October. But I know I'm going. And I know who I'm going to see there and who I'm going to speak to because I'm already seeing them. And I'm already speaking to them. Months, years, weeks, days, it don't matter. It's always in advance. The only way I don't know something is if I'm not supposed to know it. That's the only way I don't know it. If the divine is like, no. Because I know if I tell you this, you're going to run with it. So I'm not going to tell you just yet. I'm going to leave you. But most of the time, I work it out anyway. And I say to the divine, like the divine creator, he's beyond, I mean, it's going to sound silly, me saying that God is beyond intelligence and that he's beyond genius. And I get that. I get it. But because I am already beyond intelligent and beyond a genius, I'm not talking about the level that perhaps some of you guys are referring to. Yeah? I'm talking about it on a level like, you see this leaf, for example. You see when you look at a leaf or even your hand, and you can see that every single line is not by accident. Every line is not a mistake or by chance. It's been divinely created for a purpose. So divine's foresight is next level. It's almost like to say that the predictability of what I'm talking about, how far in advance one would have to be. Look how far in advance the Almighty was to plant me here at this day, at this time, to do what the fuck I'm doing right now. Look how much predictability had to take place for me to die 1,000 deaths to get to this point here. Patience, predictability, foresight, next fucking I remember me being here is dependent on an unconceivable amount of possibilities, an unconceivable amount of chances, an unconceivably amount of free will. Even my own free will of being able to choose, you know what, you're telling me I'm a shaman, but you know what, fuck it, I don't want nothing to do with it. That's even a free will move that I have a choice to make. So it's not just about the divine setting things out. It's the fact that we also have free will to make up our mind. But even with free will, we're still going to end up where we need to end up because it's divinely orchestrated. Next level genius, man. It's uncomprehendable the way that the Almighty works. So sometimes, like when I get downloaded and I can piece different downloads together, and I'm like, what the fuck? Almighty, like I just fourth wall it, and I'm like, no, sorry, spirit, ancestors, everybody else, step to the side, please, because Almighty, I just got like an inner knowing. There's an inner knowing, yeah, an inner knowing, as in my inner higher self taps in directly with the divine, and can do it to the point where the divine has not told me that, spirit has not told me that either. Nobody has directly said that to me. But my own inner self will come up with something, and it will be like a fucking epiphany drop to me. And I'll be like, hang on a minute. Wait there. Hold on, the virgin. Hold on. Are you saying A, B, C, D, E, and if I do H, I, J, K, then it will lead to X, Y, Z? And the Almighty will be like, fuck's sake, man. Yeah, how did, And I'll be like, listen. Sometimes when the Almighty talks to me, the Almighty's like, you know what, fuck it out, man. Like to the point where I don't even want to give you nothing. I don't even want to tell you nothing because I know you're going to work it out. That's the level. I've been working out God's plan. And I know it might not seem like much to some people. And I know that it might seem like bullshit to other people. But I know there's some people out there that get it because they're out there doing the same thing. Like, me and God are not different. We're not different. I communicate with the God in me, and the God in me is God. It's not an external thing, it's an internal thing, but it's external and internal, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It's a wild one still. It's a wild one. It's a wild one. It's like trees. I talk to trees, and trees actually talk. You know what I mean? And you'll be like, what the fuck? But no, trees talk. Fuck it. If you look at all the movies, like fucking Lord of the Rings and whatever else, you'll see these people going around and making films. They've made films for years. Walking trees, talking trees, animals, whatever. It's all real. My ancestors have shown me, the divine has shown me the future of us living with animals. Not the way we live with animals now, like animals are pets. No, we can go and we can just literally have conversations with any animal. I talk to flies. When I say I talk to flies, I don't talk to flies. Flies talk to me. There's a difference. I don't go to a fly and say hello. A fly will come to me and say hello. And the first time, I was like that a little bit, like, what the fuck? Am I going mad? I'm mad. There's no way the fly's talking to me, but the flies are talking to me. They've consistently spoken to me. And it don't matter what country I'm in, they talk to me. And it don't matter what country I'm in with the trees talk to me. I thought that when I moved house, I'd lose my connection because I walked around the forest nearly every day for 3-4 hours. Just communicate, listening. Not even just listening, but my ancestors guiding me and telling me what to do. Go under that tree, walk between them 2 trees, climb up on that one, come back down, make the ancestors, you know what I'm saying? Like, it literally is like a little road map every day. Every day I get told what to do. Every day I get told what clothes to put on. Every day I get told what colours to wear. Every day I get told what underwear to put on. Today they said put on the roses underwear. Where am I going? They said put on the roses underwear. I got my roses drawers on. I do not make decisions. And not because I don't want to or that I can't. I am in surrender. I have surrendered myself completely. My mind, body and soul is completely surrendered over to the divine. Whatever you want me to do, I will do. You will not hear no argument from me. I am here to do what my ancestors require me to do. I'm here to do what the divine, and by doing that, I have freed ancestors, entities, family members that have been trapped in a dimension that looks like a fucking, like if a ship got shipwrecked and then the guys find themselves on a beach, like an island. That's where I found my ancestors, on a derelict, shipwrecked island. And they'd been there I mean, the time frame that they'd been there is unconceivable, man. Like, years and centuries don't quantify how long these ancestors have been trapped there, because we haven't been able to connect with them because we're blocked by all this matrix shit, unable to connect with our true ancestors and the true divine. 2022, my ancestors told me they're using the phone line is the ancestors, the Wi-Fi is the ancestors, AI is the ancestors. They're abusing it just like they're abusing our energy and calling it electricity, charging you for it. What the fuck? What the fuck? These are monsters. Fucking monsters. That's what they are. Fucking monsters. Fucking monsters. If you really, 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 really knew and really, 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 really understood what has been done, what is still being done, and what they were planning to do. Some people can't even go down the rabbit's hole and have a look at a conspiracy theory because it's too much for them. And if you're one of those people, I would say, you know what, you should have cut this video off a long time ago. But if you're a truth speaker and you stand up in righteousness and you're steadfast with the truth, then what I'm saying to you can't be shocking. Cannot be shocking. No way. You cannot be woke in 2026 and not understand what I'm saying. It's just impossible. And if you don't understand, then you're just going to have to take that as you're not woke. And I'm just calling a spade because it is what it is. But at this point, it really is what it is. Times have changed. They're not in power anymore. They just don't want to give power. I just had a text from my son. Oh, he's got it with him. What the hell? I left my fast charger at his house last week, and I've been charging my phones and my laptop using another laptop. It's just not worth it, because I went to buy a plug the other day and I want £15 for a plug. £15 for one plug. Does that even make sense? Not the wire, you know, just the plug. I'm not giving you £15 of my money for no fucking plug. What the fuck you think this is? So I'm telling my son I need to. That's why I've come to this park. It's the first time I've come to this park too. But it's the halfway between my house and my son's house. So when I finish here, I'm gonna go there. But first of all, I'm gonna lie in the grass and I'm gonna fall asleep. Before I do that, actually, I purchased myself some lunch. So I've got a sandwich. I like prawn cocktail crisps. I even packed one of these just in case. I packed a book, and I also packed these. I bought these probably 6-7 years ago, and I don't do tarots. I do tarot cards. I used to do tarot cards, but when I say I only used to read for family and friends. Yeah. I bought this deck of tarot cards. My cousin introduced me to them, and she also introduced me to the Orishas, which was significant, to be fair. Since then, though, I have done my own independent research into the Orishas, and I have flown to Africa on 3 occasions to meet with certain spiritual practitioners that deal with things like that, like Yoruba tradition, the Ifus and stuff like that. So I have gained my own long-term knowledge, but really, Fuck Nigga 1 was introduced to me by that same cousin, and he was a worshipper of the Orishas. So he, if you like, initiated me. He took me through certain practices, and practices as in offerings, but also going into the graveyard and watching what he's doing in the graveyard. Going to other places and watching him doing certain things. And I never felt like I wanted to kind of engage, but I knew I was there to observe. Yeah, because I was still very much under a lot of spell work at the time, to the point where I was paralyzed in my spirituality. So even if I wanted to engage with the practice or him, it's like I didn't have the spiritual energy for it. I was under too much spell work. Yeah, and he was part of that spell work too, believe it or not. But he introduced me to the cowrie shells, which are these little things on the book, cowrie shells. I probably can explain it a bit better actually. Because these are cowrie shells on the back of the cards. Yeah, but what they actually look like really is a bit different. But I went to Jamaica with about 50 cowrie shells, these in my hair. Into Africa, sorry. And then last year I went to Jamaica. I had to put down some ritual work over there for whatever reason, family and everything, because my family are mainly from Jamaica, but my ancestral family are from Africa. So they kept saying to me, you gotta go to Africa, you gotta go to Africa, you're an African, you're an African. I'm saying to the kids, I'm an African. They're like, you're not African, we're not African, mum, we're not African, mum. We don't support that, we're Jamaican. I was like, listen, the ancestors are saying I'm African, I'm going to Africa and see where I go on. So I went to Africa. Before I went to Africa, they said, do your DNA, send off your DNA, because the first time I went to Africa was 2024. They told me to go to the doctors and have my bloods done. I had my bloods done in January and I had my bloods done in February. And by the time I had my bloods done in February, my ancestors were laughing because they knew that my blood had already changed. So my ancestors were laughing, saying that when I go and get the blood test in February, they're going to know that you're an alien. You're not human. Because, you know what I mean? So I said, what am I going there for? Why am I going to give them the blood for them to see that so they can come and charge at me? My auntie said, go and give them. So I did. I went and met them, take the blood test. Next, you know, I got another message on about they want me to come back and do another blood test. I told them no. You have one blood test a year, maybe two a year, but you definitely do not have three a year. And I've had one in January and I've had one in February. Why would I be coming back in March to do a blood test when I come back from Africa? I told them they can fuck themselves because I know what they're up to because my ancestors already told me. Yeah, I'm, you know, my blood ain't, yeah, whatever. You know, so that was 2024, the first time I went to Africa, and then I went again twice in last year, and I'm possibly going again today. But we've got other things to do. You know, there's so many. I've come to understand just how it's like the Celtic. I'm not white. Where does the Celtic Irish? But Celtic weren't never white either. Everybody was black. Before there was a time when everybody was just black. You must know that. So Celtic, Japanese, Indian, it was all black. It's the all black features. They're all black qualities. Even white skin is a black feature. You just lack the melanin, wee boy. Black people still giving birth to white babies now. My son is mixed race. My two grandkids, they look like white people. You know what I'm saying? But obviously that's through mixing of the blood. But two African people in Africa with no white people in their bloodline give birth to white babies, man. Go Google it. We are the originals. The black melanin DNA is the original, period. And that's why they do so much to keep us down. That's why they make it out like black is so bad, because we're living in a vice versa. What's good is bad and what's bad is good. When they say the darkness is bad, the darkness isn't bad. Every night you close your eyes in darkness, you're in peace, mate. When you bury, you go into the ground, into darkness, you're in peace. When you look up to the sky in the night, is it not dark? Does the Bible not tell you that let there be light, which would indicate there was darkness before that? It's a mind control bullshit setup, and that's all I'm gonna say on the matter. All right, so on that one, I'm gonna say this. That's what's going down. This is what the Matrix is about. I would have to be mad. I would have to be clinically insane, spiritually insane, to think that this Matrix behavior, this paying bills, this bullshit is real. That's the madness. You'd have to be a fucking idiot. And guess what? Surrounded by them. Peace.